I'm Gary Brennan, an extension agent with the University of Florida. We're going to visit Central Florida to talk to a nursery grower who's had serious infestations with the two-spotted spider mite, Tetranicus urticae. These pests weaken and damage foliage plants. We'll see the stock plant facility where cuttings are taken from the stock plants and then grown out in other facilities. If the cuttings taken from here are infested with spider mites, it will spread the problems to the other facilities. We're going to see how an innovative grower is using the predatory mite, Neosilius californicus, and something called banker plants to attack the pest. We're at Engelmann's nursery here in Apopka with one of their managers, Cesar Delgado. Cesar, how long has Engelmann's been growing foliage plants in this area?
We've been in the Apopka area for about 30 years now, a little over 30.
And you grow a really wide range of different plants, don't you?
Oh yeah, there's probably 100, 150 different varieties growing on any given day.
And these are the house plants that people use in their homes.
We hope so, yeah.
How many square feet under greenhouse does Engelmann's have?
Square footage I couldn't tell you. It's about 62 acres right now. It's constantly growing.
That's a large operation.
Huge.
Tell me a little bit about the mite problem you've had over the years, the difficulties in controlling it.
Yeah, when we first started with the ivy stock at this location where we're at, we had a tremendous resistance problem. We would spray sometimes 3 times a week, and being here in Florida, it's so hot we have to spray at night, and the plants, as you can see, are pretty high up. And we would have to spray on stilts at night, and it's really nasty, and it didn't work. The chemicals just weren't killing. We had a horrible resistance problem here.
So a lot of work, a lot of expense. You went through a lot of chemicals.
Yeah.
And when you started using the mites, then what were the benefits?
Oh, it was almost instant. We could start getting kills. The general population was dropping steadily over time, and the more they dropped, the less chemical we had to use. So eventually we ended up getting rid of the resistance because we could back whole chemistries out. And it worked to where we're at now, where we hardly spray at all, and we have good control, very good control now.
Do you have a scouting program? And tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, every Monday we'll go through the greenhouses and try and find them. Honestly, try and find the guys. And if we find them, or knowing where they were in the past, we'll isolate those areas and put our predator programs in there in those areas. It takes about 3 hours a week to do this whole location, which is 72,000 square feet.
Has the use of the predator mites in your IPM program had an effect on the control programs for other insects and diseases?
Yeah, it's the only negative thing it's done is I'll see some more aphids than I've seen in the past, but aphids have never really been a big problem, and they're easy to control so far. And outside of that, it's not worked against us in any way that I can see.
Next, we're going to take a look at the system Engelmann's uses to introduce the predatory mite into their production. We've moved into the banker plant production facility, and I'm with Sarah Humke, a grower here with Engelmann's. Sarah, what are banker plants, and how does that fit into the system that you use?
A banker plant is a plant that we grow a pest of that plant on. In this case, we grow Banks grass mites on corn plants, which are then used to feed the predatory mites.
Sarah, how then do you use these banker plants in your system?
We take these very heavily infested plants upstairs and inoculate them with the predatory mite. The mites that are being grown on these corn plants don't harm the ivy that we're growing. They are a grass mite, and they will only eat the grass. Whereas the predatory mites will then go off after having a meal of grass mite and go off and look for two-spot mites.
Do you put these plants among the plants that you're producing then?
Yes, actually we'll just put them up into a pot and just leave them there.
Mm-hmm. And then the predatory mites are maintained on this, and will they move on through your foliage plants?
Yes, once they've, eaten most of everything that's off of here, they'll go out looking for other prey.
Sarah, how often would you release the predatory mite?
We release them weekly.
Do you base it all on any scouting, or have you found that you need to release at that rate?
We've got our system here set up so that it's on a weekly schedule so that we're producing plants, a certain amount every week. When we scout, we look for hot spots, and that's where we put the plants out.
Okay, I see. Why this way instead of releasing directly from the bottle?
Because this way, the predator mites will get onto these plants, and they'll eat, and they'll be happy, and then they'll proceed to lay eggs before they leave these plants to go out and look for other food. Okay. Then these eggs will actually hatch, and sometimes you can get 2 or 3, even more generations, instead of just the one where you release the plants directly, or the insects directly onto the plants.
You mentioned that you raise the grass mites, but where do you get the predatory mites?
We order the predatory mites in each week from an outside company. The reason we do so is that we had problems with cross-contamination. We would get the Californicus actually in our rearing facilities just consistently, and we had a lot of problems with that. So it was easier just to make sure that that was completely out of the picture, as well as it's easier for us, and it quite simply was cheaper.
Thank you for joining us. This has been another Florida IPM success story.